Hello there, fellow artists and fellow art lovers alike. Today we're going to have a little bit of a different type of video. This is a video in which I'm going to give you a full tour. We're going to tour around my Etsy art shop online. So we're going to see pretty much all the paintings that I have available for sale right now, including some of the ones you can probably see behind me in the background. Heyo. And aside from paintings and art, I actually have a lot of other items that I do sell on my Etsy as well. A lot of things that are great for gifts. We've also got a lot of learn to paint kits. If you're someone who has been following me on Canvas Academy, my online painting platform. But let's just go ahead and dive right in and see all of it. So you can kind of sit back, relax, and let me browse and guide you through all the things that I have on my Etsy. So over here on my laptop, I've got pulled up, this is my official Etsy shop. Of course, the link to my shop is going to be below, of course, so that you can browse the shop for yourself as well. You can watch along if there's anything that you're interested in. Of course, as a professional artist, it is very helpful for me to sell some of my art to you guys, but if you're just here to, browse and just see, if you're just interested in seeing what type of artwork I have, just to see the pieces that I've done before, you can come on and join in as well. So I'm going to scroll down, and right away you're going to see that I have about 76 pieces on my shop right now. I have a lot more coming soon, just FYI. So this number is probably going to be higher by the time I post this video, and if you do click down and browse around for yourself. But this is just, I want to show you some of the popular things and just some of my art pieces that I've done that I'm really proud of. So these are all my featured listings here at the very top. I've got, of course, the famous Marilyn Monroe picture that I did. I've also got some learn to paint kits. This one is one for kids. I have it on sale right now. Sale will be ending soon, so you may not be able to see the sale once you join. By the time that this video gets posted and you get to see the video, but I run sales pretty often in my shop, so it may go on sale again, that sort of thing. Of course, I've got my original paintings. I am running a sale on my original paintings right now. I don't always do that, but when I do that, make sure you grab one, because those sales typically do not last long, and the items do not last long once they go on sale. Of course, I've got these beautiful, lovely, hand-painted pet treat dispensers. It's a mouthful, I know. They are so adorable. We will go into that in a minute as well, but just, you can scroll down and you can see all the stuff that I've got up on my Etsy page right now. And of course, lots of paintings, lots of things, but I want to go one section at a time. I'm running a big sale right now during the recording of this video, but in the future, again, always be on the lookout for more and more sales. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of my original paintings. These are the ones that I'm most proud of, because these are paintings that I have done with either my own photos, photos that I've taken, or photos from, I have a couple photographers in my family, thank you, because I'm not really that great of a photographer. I'm more of a painter, honestly, than a photographer. So it's great to have a photographer or two, I actually have two, in the family. that lend me their photos to use for my artwork all the time. Really, really nice. So that these are all paintings that you're not going to see anything like this anywhere else. These are completely original. If you see something like it, let me know, because they're copying my work. But in general, these are things you're not going to see any other artists doing these. These are completely unique photos that only I have been able to paint, and that I have access to. So you're not going to see things like this anywhere else. So let's just go through them a little bit quickly. We first got the lovely Pretty Petals, which should be kind of familiar, hint hint, sitting behind me on the wall. I'm really proud of that one. Of course, I'm proud of all of these, you guys. I have Your Owl, I love throwing a pun or two in there when I'm titling my paintings. If you haven't come to know me yet, I love a good pun. So anytime I'm able to throw a pun just really quickly into the title of my paintings, I absolutely am going to take advantage of doing that. This is another painting. This one and this one here. This is just kind of giving you a backstory behind some of my paintings as well. These two are actually, they're kind of similar. I painted them at the same time. One right after the other. These were from my cousin, who's a photographer. Thank you. lended me these photos that he had taken in his house. He's a really good photographer. And these look exactly like the photos, you guys. If I would show you, I don't know if I've got the photos saved anywhere in here, but these paintings I got to look just like the actual photos. They had beautiful black backgrounds, and he had the lighting hitting each of these flowers just perfectly. I don't know how you do it. He said there was something to do with a setting on the camera and like a black sheet, and it was like a whole ordeal, but I got it painted based on his photos, and I think those two paintings are really gorgeous, and they are kind of, they would look good together. They look good together as like a set, I think, because I painted them at the same time. They were taken kind of at the same time, so they're like sister paintings. Sister paintings there. Of course, over here I have Parker's Bridge. I named it that because this is a picture that I took of a bridge when I was with my nephew Parker. We went to this like little park. I think we went to go sledding there. It was covered in snow, and we found this little bridge like in the back of the woods. And there was like a little bridge that went over the river, so I called that one Parker's Bridge for him. Over here we have the Great One. This is a photo, a painting based on a photo that I actually took when I went to Alaska, and I went to Denali National Park. And then I took a photo of Mount Denali. Yes, it is Mount Denali. I know there's always controversy over, is it McKinley or... It's Mount Denali. And we actually talked to, not just, Denali is the word that the native people in Alaska gave to the mountains, so I mean, it's their word. But even aside from the native people, the people who are local, that live and go to the park, you know, that live in Alaska, they've always known it as Denali. Some of them didn't even, you know, they had never called it Mount McKinley, so most people that live in Alaska are confused as to why it would even be called Mount McKinley in the first place, because Mount McKinley was a president that actually never even went to Alaska. But it was just really interesting, if anything, just to visit the park and hear what people had to say, you know, about the park and about the mountain itself. It was a really fun time. It's like the one vacation I've ever really taken in my life. And it will forever be one of my like top vacations that I got to go to Alaska and see Mount Denali up close. We also got here, Take Me Tahiti. This is a photo based on a photo that my sister-in-law took when she was on vacation in Tahiti. Over here we have the Berg, of course, Pittsburgh, which also, again, my sister-in-law took that photo. She took a lot of the photos that I use for my painting because she's also a very good photographer. Over here, I call this one Rocky Growth. A lot of people like this one, and I think I got this one. Yes, I got this one on the wall here beside me. I've got it turned sideways. The orientation of it doesn't really matter. It's like one of those rare paintings that you can hang it either vertical or horizontal. It doesn't really matter, and it still looks just as good. But I've had a lot of people, and when I looked at the photo too that I based this off of, I thought that here we can even go to it. So you can see here, like I've got a video showing you the entire painting in all its glory. Yes, beautiful. And also, like, here is a close-up, a little bit better of a view of this painting. So a lot of people think, and I thought this too when I first saw the photo, that the flower is like growing through, it looks like lava rocks, right? It's like these rocks that are just like cemented into the ground, and it just looks like this flower is just like growing out of nowhere, right? And I did ask my sister-in-law this. I said, was it actually growing there, or did you place it there and strategically take the photo? And she said she did not actually place the flower there. She said it was there naturally, but it was not growing out of the rocks. So, I mean, myth busted, but the flower was not growing there, but I still called this painting Rocky Growth because it does look like it's growing there, and I just think it sends a beautiful message that, you know, it's like that diamond in the rough. The flower can just grow in the rockiest of places, and I just think that's really beautiful. So back to the whole shop here with all the original paintings. Here's another painting that I did of Denali. This one I called Denali 1 because, you know, I knew I was going to do a bunch of Denalis. So I just called it number 1 because I sure there would be a number 2 and number 3 and so on and so forth. This one is Where Palm Trees Sway. I painted this one not that long ago. The picture was taken quite a long time ago, though. My sister-in-law also took that one. I think that one she took in Tahiti as well. But it was like one of these like bungalow things. Or actually, I think it's kind of like a drink bar. Let's see. I think it was like this like swim up like juice bar, like you swim up to it and you like go to the bar and stuff. I don't know. I wasn't there. She was, and I liked the picture, so I was like, hey, I'll paint it if it's. That's the thing is with me. It's like a photo, like it just kind of has to make me go, oh, that's pretty, and like I'll paint it. I'm not like some of these people that are like, oh, the photo has to speak volumes to me and it has to send this sort of a message. And I mean, I did paint, you know, the rocks on, you know, the flower growing in the rocks because I thought it sent like kind of a nice message too. But some things I'm like, it's just pretty and it's just visually appealing to me, and that's enough. Like, that's good enough for me to want to paint it. So, aside from that, and of course, Where Palm Trees Sway, that's, you know, Mali Kaliki Maka, the Christmas song, the Hawaii Christmas song. Even though that wasn't taken in Hawaii, that song was like in my head when I was painting it, so I just called it that because, hey, why not? I probably had just gotten done watching, you know, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation because that song plays in there. And every time I watch that movie, that song is always stuck in my head on repeat. So I bet that I painted this around Christmas time, and I bet I had just watched that movie. There's more backstory for you. Here's one. I'm gonna have to blow this one up because it's difficult to see. Alright, so this one is a beautiful monarch butterfly. And I took this picture in my own backyard. And of course, I don't know if that's the best. There we go. It's kind of hard to see this one. But let's see here. There we go. That's a better view of the whole butterfly that I had there. And again, I paint butterflies quite frequently. If you haven't noticed, a lot of my paintings, or at least the ones that I'm going to show you after this too, a lot of times I paint butterflies, not partly maybe because of a message, but also because, you know, they're just pretty. Like, sometimes, I don't want to sound shallow, but like sometimes I just paint things because they're pretty. Like, that's honestly the main reason why I got into painting, because I wanted to have pretty things to hang on my bedroom walls, like when I was in high school. That's why I got into painting, because I wanted something pretty to look at. Like, that's literally what it kind of was. And then sometimes there are like meanings behind things, and, you know, I like to leave it up to the viewer, just like how I'm also a writer and an author, and when I write stories, I write books and stuff, I like to leave it up to interpretation of the reader, right? I don't want to decide that for whoever the viewer or the reader or whoever the other person is. I want you guys to be able to look at something and determine what it means to you, right? And actually, thinking about it now, this painting, it means something a little bit different to me now. I painted this a couple years ago, but even like looking at it now, it means something a little bit different to me looking at it now, because my aunt actually passed away like a year or so ago at this point, and we had a memorial breakfast, like a little brunch, like for a memorial for her, to celebrate what would have been her next birthday. And at the memorial, the theme was butterflies. So there were butterflies everywhere. And then after the dinner, I had come home, we had like little, we got little pieces of like fresh cut lavender and stuff. And I have like a memory box sitting on my dresser at home that's like, that I had put in. I dried the flowers that I had gotten from her funeral and I put them in the box, and I didn't even realize until I got home that there was like a little tag on the flowers that was in the shape of a butterfly, and it was like the theme was butterflies, and I didn't even realize, you know, that there had been like symbols of butterflies at her funeral too and stuff. Yeah, not to get like super emotional, but like those are the things that, you know, this painting means something different to me now than when I painted it, because she was, you know, still with us when I was painting it, and I was just painting it because I thought it was pretty. But now it's a little bit different to me because the butterflies, it kind of symbolizes my aunt who passed away, right? So it's a little bit different for me now, viewing my own painting. So hey. But anyway, if we get back, of course, like I said, there's a lot of other butterflies on here that I'm sure we'll see. But, of course, we've also got this painting here, When the Sun Goes Down. Yes, that's a song too. If you haven't noticed, the theme of I like to name my paintings after song titles. It's a country song, When the Sun Goes Down. You know, I like that song. Anyway. Oh, and that picture is, I think I had taken that picture like on a lake when I was camping once too. So that one was kind of simple, but it was still like, it's pretty, so I painted it, right? This one, I've had a lot of comments on this one. Like good comments, not bad comments or anything. I've actually never gotten any bad comments on my paintings, which is like, yay, right? Criticism can be hard, even, you know, as an artist and as an author. I've gotten criticism as an author, but as an artist, it can still be hard to hear when people don't like your work. I will say, though, I got a comment on this painting of this butterfly once, because this is a monarch butterfly, and I know it is because of the photo I took, the reference photo I took, but I had taken this to an art show once, and someone was looking at it, and they asked me what type of butterfly it was, and I said it was a monarch butterfly, and she said, no, it's not. she literally looked at me and she goes, honey, no. And I was really confused, and I said, no, it was a monarch, and she goes, no, honey, that is a painted lady. I don't know. I didn't understand. She thought she was like a butterfly connoisseur, and I was like, I think I would know what type of butterfly I put in my own painting, but I was like, hey, I told her, it can be whatever you want, I guess. Then she just walked away. But anyway, yes, be prepared for those kind of comments if you are an artist and you ever take your art to an art show. But anyway, this is the Waco Walk, because I think it was Waco Beach is where I took this photo that I based this painting on. Waco Beach, Michigan. So this is Lake Michigan in the background, and I really do like this painting, and I've had a lot of people tell me they really like this painting too. And I actually believe I painted this one, yes, I painted this one on a wood board, like a wood, instead of canvas. I did like the flat wood. It's shaped like a canvas, but it's actually wood then on the sides, so you can see the natural wood look on the sides. That's always really nice. But I did that because of the, you know, it's a wooden boardwalk, and I thought that would be like a cool little art choice to paint it on wood instead of canvas. I will say though, painting on wood is not my favorite thing. I will say that painting on wood is harder than painting on canvas, so it's not something I do often. So when I do, it's kind of a special occasion. We've also got here, we have I Heart Brooklyn. This is just, you know, a picture of the Brooklyn Bridge that, again, my sister-in-law took that one. This one, which I think is on the wall behind me as well. This is my first attempt at making a light up picture. That should, yes, if you turn the lights off, you will see that it lights up, because I put lights in the background, behind, so it shines through the canvas to show where the actual lights were on this bridge. And the painting itself is based on another bridge that I saw when I was camping. This was like it was like a biking and horseback riding bridge that went over, I think it was the White River near Indianapolis. So aside from that, I've also got, I love the title for this one. It's Kanye's Nest. Oh, my dad gave me the idea for the title of that one just because it's a pun, and he knows I like puns. It's supposed to be like Kanye West, but it's Kanye's Nest. It's supposed to be funny, okay? But if you just like the painting for the bird, that's fine too. I like to be funny with my titles. It is just a bird that, again, my sister-in-law took that picture. I don't know if she took that. I think she might have taken that when we went to Alaska. She did go to Alaska with me, so she got a lot of good pictures too. And then, of course, down here, these are paintings that I have sold the original, but now I have prints. I have saved the prints of those original paintings, so you can get it a lot cheaper, but it's still the, you know, the same picture. It's just that it's not the original painting, it's just a printed copy of it. And they are framed, and this first one is Kim's Bridge, which is a very popular one. A lot of people have liked that one too. Which the original painting of that I did get in a small art show around Indy as well when I used to live down there. And it's called Kim's Bridge because my sister-in-law Kim, hi Kim, is the one that took that picture. And I think that was in Costa Rica. I think that was when she went on a vacation to Costa Rica. But aside from that, this one is Chicago. Of course, the Windy City. Where I live, here in the northern Midwest, it's like Chicago is the big city, right? It's not New York, it's not LA, it's Chicago, right? Chicago is our big city. So, of course, we have to have a beautiful portrait of the Windy City there. So these are all the original paintings. Now, along with my original paintings, I also have my classic Hollywood collection, which I'm very proud of these. So these are all mainly the leading ladies of Hollywood, I like to say. From the 1950s era. I am someone who I really love old movies, right? Some people, I know, not so much, but me, I do love old movies. And if you're someone who likes older films and like the classic old Hollywood, you know, then these are the kind of paintings that hopefully you would enjoy. These are just all the really simple portrait paintings. We've done a couple of different, I always try to think of, you know, the most famous ladies of the era. This is my Betty White that I just did not that long ago. Of course, I also recorded the video process of me painting that, and then also of me breaking that down for you guys so you can see exactly how it was made. And then my all-time favorite actress ever, Audrey Hepburn, which of course I'm sure she's here. There she is on the wall somewhere. Breakfast at Tiffany's, all-time favorite movie of all time. Miss Judy Garland, of course, of Wizard of Oz fame, and others, many other movies as well. Betty Davis, you know the song, Betty Davis Eyes, yes. Katharine Hepburn, the other Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn was actually known as the other Hepburn because she kind of became famous after Katharine Hepburn, but you know, they were not related. They were not related, they just happened to have the same last name. I also have this Audrey Hepburn original painting. This is my Audrey Eyes. I think it might be over there on the wall somewhere too. But this is actually, and I can make this a little bit bigger for you guys too. So this is a painting that I did during COVID lockdown. Ayo, remember the days. Oh, it's so funny now. At the time it felt like it would never end, but now we look back on it and we're like, oh, remember when. The days that would never end. Yes, because I was locked in a house with my sister-in-law and my brother and my two nieces. I was taking a trip to visit them for only a week, and I ended up stuck there for 3 or 4 months. all because of COVID. So we had to find things to do, and I ended up painting a couple of just shots of Audrey Hepburn's eyes from a couple of her different famous films while I was there. So that was really fun for me doing that one. Of course, the famous Marilyn Monroe. I've actually got 2 of her. I've got that one there and this one here. So I've got 1 and 2 of her. We can't forget Grace Kelly, who was, we know, became Princess of Monaco as well. And then of course we have 3 larger ones. I have Audrey in Pose #1. Elizabeth Taylor in Pose #1, which of course is from the movie Cleopatra. And the famous pose of Marilyn Monroe. I believe this one is from The 7-Year Itch, that movie. And yes, this is the famous picture that everybody knows, everybody loves, right? But this is my version of it. And then aside from all of these paintings, I've also got my 3D resin pieces, which I haven't made one of these in a while because it's a lot of work. Not really a lot of work, it takes a lot of materials, so I've been kind of trying to be a little bit stingy with the materials because you have to use resin to make these. So absolutely, I just want to preface this by saying all of these are not real. Okay, these are not real insects, not real fish, not real animals. These are not real. Okay, these are 100% painted. These are painted. They're humane pieces of artwork. Okay, but like I said before, we would see a lot of butterflies, and here's where we see even more butterflies. This is the Precious Pink butterfly that I did in resin in a beautiful handcrafted and very simple minimalist wooden box. Okay, and so what makes these paintings realistic? It is helpful to see it in real life, but you can still, you know, sort of see from the video like that. You can see the reflection on, it looks like glass, but it's actually resin. If you've ever worked with resin, I had never worked with resin before making these pieces, but I kind of consider it looks like glass, but it's really like a really hard, durable plastic, clear plastic type of texture. And what it is it's liquid. When you first mix it, you mix 2 different parts together, stir it up really well, and then you pour it, and then it will cure and harden for a day or 2. But to make these pieces, especially with the butterflies like this, I think I did it in 3 parts, okay? So I would put down a layer of resin first, so it's basically like you've got a layer of just like clear like plastic or glass, right? And then from there I would paint the first layer, which would be the bottom wings, the bottom 2 wings, I would paint those on. And then after that paint was dry, I would pour another layer of resin. So then it's like you've got a layer of like glass kind of on top of that. So there's like a little bit of thickness separating those 2 layers. And then you paint your next layer, which for me was these top 2 wings. Again, let it dry, let it harden, and then, you know, pour the resin over it again, and then let it dry and let it harden. And then from there, you've got another really thin layer of that clear glass, that clear resin there. And then after that, you do the third part, which is like the body and the antennae of the butterfly. And then from there, you pour your resin all the way up, or as far up to the top as what you want. So that then from there, you get this like 3D looking effect, because it's like it's layers of paint, magical, right? Magically layered on top of each other. And I do this not with just the butterflies, like I've got those 2 butterflies there, but I did them with the fish. I started doing it with the fish because I had seen a video of somebody else do it, and I thought, hey, I can do that. With the fish. I actually found that doing the butterflies was easier though. The butterflies I came up with on my own. And then I also did a bee. And then I also did a dragonfly, because I thought that would be a little bit different, kind of similar to the butterfly. And then of course my hummingbird. Humming around, the good old hummingbird. I really like this one as well, because this one I played around with there's like a flower. It's a fake flower, but a fake flower petal that I stuck in, and it's kind of like coming up out of the resin, so that it looks like this hummingbird is getting a little drink of nectar from this flower in the corner of the box. Just like that. And again, of course, layering different layers of paint to get that 3D looking effect. Okay, now, aside from all of those, I've also got some woodwork items that are available on my Etsy shop. These are just a couple of them. Some of them like wood art, like these 2, like the moose and the bear, that are like cabin artwork type things. I've got some floating shelves. I just made these the other day. And down here I've got like sets of hand-painted flowers, and like this one's more for like fall, like it's got a pumpkin and sunflowers. And of course this one's really popular for spring. This is like just 3 flowers with a white picket fence. And then of course my candy dispensers. Just a little bit of a note, I don't do all the woodworking. I do the painting part of it though, and I do some of the woodworking. But for these candy machines, it's actually my dad. My dad is awesome, and he handcrafts these completely. He is definitely a wood craftsman, and he makes these completely by hand, and then I'm the one that does the stain and the painting and kind of helping him nail it all together and stuff. But these things are really popular gifts, especially around Christmas time. People who don't know, you know, if there's someone you don't know what kind of a gift to get them, this is kind of a gift that like everybody likes, because it's a candy dispenser, and it's like an old-fashioned gumball machine, you know? You saw the video of me getting the candy out of the dispenser, and yeah. It's also kind of a vintage thing, I think, because I've had a lot of people tell me that they're like, oh, I grew up with one of these like in my grandfather's house or something, and I'm like, oh, that's really nice. I just grew up with one of these because my dad would make them all the time, and he still makes them, so. Okay, and then also, of course, our Learn to Paint. I'm slowly but surely adding a lot of the classes from Canvas Academy, which, if you're not familiar or not already part of Canvas Academy, make sure you check that out. Which aside, there's like individual classes you can get. You can get the individual courses if you don't already have a membership with Canvas Academy. And then aside from that, I have some Etsy exclusive painting kits, like how to paint this cat. This is actually my cat. But each of these, and then this is just a very simple sunset that we make from scratch. But each of these kits, they're completely exclusive on Etsy. I don't have these on Canvas Academy or anything. These are only on my Etsy shop. And each of these classes, you will get shipped all the materials that you need for the class directly to your door. And that includes the sketch. I will sketch on canvas for you so that you can follow along with a full video tutorial and learn how to paint these things. Like, wouldn't that be fun? So if you're someone who's never painted before, or you know somebody who likes to learn how to paint or something, those are really great gift ideas too. Also, a new thing, sort of new thing I've been doing for a while, but I'm trying to expand this a little bit, is I have hand-painted and handmade journals up on my Etsy as well. These are, again, really great gifts, or just great gifts for yourself. So our first journal, and I've had this one up here for a while, is a mental health journal. And it comes actually with a bit of a gift, but I can explain the gift part for you because I know it can be a little bit confusing, but it is a mental wellness journal that I designed all the pages, and I put this journal together and painted the cover and everything for myself. So the gift that comes with it is for you to open, or again, if you're giving this as a gift for somebody, that you can complete this journal, and for every, let me see. Yes, so like I mentioned, like here inside the journal, for every page in the journal that you complete, you can color in one of these stars here on this page. It's like in the front of the book. And then once you've filled in all these stars is when you can open your free gift, right? It's supposed to be a bit of a reward for you to get through doing at least part of, maybe not the entire journal, but getting pages done in your journal, and to really keep you motivated and on track to working in your journal. Because I know sometimes we get like a journal like this and we're like, oh, I'm gonna be so great, I'm gonna do a page a day, and it's like a New Year's resolution, and then you just never do it. So the gift is there to kind of help you reach that goal. And then along with that journal, I have made a second type of journal. This is a lot more niche, but this is for readers. These are for all my readers out there. Because like I've said before, if you guys don't know, I'm actually an indie author as well as an artist, so I get reading, I get the whole thing, and tracking your reading is really, really popular. So I wanted to give everyone a resource that would help you to kind of make and reach reading goals. You know, it is really common, it's like those New Year's resolutions that we go, I want to read 50 books this year, right? A book a week. Or you're like, I want to get 10 books done this year. Well, think about it. Like, how are you going to get there? How are you physically going to get there, right? So doing like a journal like this is one really good way to get there. And this one also, like the last one, it does come with another free gift. I know I'm on this kick of doing free gifts a lot, but this one you can open your free gift after you finish this reading bingo card, which again is going to motivate you to read more. And if you're somebody that's like not really a reader now, you will become one. You can learn to become a better reader if you join in and try the journal for yourself. And like I said, these are handmade, handcrafted. I do completely by hand, all of these. And this one does come with an option that if you want to personalize it with your name, or again, if you want to give this as a gift for somebody else, that would be fantastic as well. Okay, moving on, let's go on ahead and go down to the pet products area. So of course, I've got my custom pet portraits on here, which yes, I can paint your pets if you send me a photo. Just send me a clear photo and I will paint and ship out your pet portrait right to you. I completely paint all of these completely by hand, but I wanted to really show you this one. Because I think this is like one of the best ideas I've ever had. So this is a great like gift just for pets or just for your own pets if you'd like. So what this is a pet treat dispenser. They're actually just like the candy dispensers that I showed you earlier, but these are pet treat dispensers that you can put either pet food or pet treats in the little jar. You pull the little lever out and it dispenses their treats and their snacks and such for you. Oh, look at her. Such a cutie. Okay. And it can, if you like, you can get a little bowl with it with their name on it. And then, yes, I do hand paint. This is what makes this so unique, you guys, is I will hand paint your pet's portrait or whatever. If you're giving this a gift to somebody else, just make sure you give me a photo of their pet and I will paint their pet's portrait right on the jar. I know. Isn't that amazing? That's what I'm saying. This is like one of the best ideas I've ever had. And again, just a really, really good gift either like for like pet lovers, people who have pets, or for your own pets if you'd like to. But of course, aside from that, and of course all my lovely classic Hollywood paintings, of course I put at the top because those are what I'm most proud of. I mean, like I said, I'm proud of everything that's in my Etsy shop, but you know, there are some things that have a story to them, and then there are some things that I'm like, hey, I just painted it because it was pretty. Like, I'm just being honest. So again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this little Etsy shop tour, going along this little mini journey with me. And like I said, the things on my Etsy shop change all the time, so I'll probably end up making like another video in the future of like an updated like product line and that sort of thing. But As always, you can just check out the link. I'll link to the shop below in the description. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a lovely day, and happy shopping and browsing, everybody.